This has been a fun update so far. Off screen, this is the MSQ video series. But off screen, I've already touched the EX. I've touched the 24-man. Done a little bit of exploring around and seeing what's up. And I've had a lot of fun already. This is good. This update was worth it. And it's gonna expand the things I do on a daily. Alright, SHTOLA, what's up? What did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Motoya has burned some bridges here in Sharlayan and salted the earth for good measure. But it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question. No few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms, I might add, of the incredible debt we owe you and your companions. And that served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines. It was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. This is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I'm sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in this endeavor, and bid you a good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising? Aye. But that very stoicism is exactly what Sharlayan needed to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. Not one, but two. If I were about 5 years younger, I'd cast aside my lectern, join you on your adventure in a heartbeat. Understandable. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes. And now I can simply walk through the doors. Our focus will be on finding House Demir's research notes, of course. Thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Montagane is waiting to offer you further instruction. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Later, Montagane. Thanks for your help. Shall we? SHTOLA is still accompanying you. Let's go. Oh, SHTOLA has something to say. To think the set of instructions. I laughingly imagine that may actually exist, but yalms away where you found me napping. If I had known Azadal III's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. It's the adventurer's spirit, SHTOLA. Gotta be able to just hear something stupid and be like, alright, but why did this even come to be? Archon, SHTOLA, and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me. If you would, watch your step. And please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Discouraged. Not banned. So I'm kind of going hard.
If House Demir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
God, this remix of the Gooball Library is just going. SHTOLA, do you hear the music? Yes, yes, we're here for one specific volume. You needn't remind me. I can jump on this? Yes, I can. Leather-bound log. What does it say? What does it say? What is it gonna say? Following page is detailed an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nusashan. No, I found it on my first fucking try. These research notes to the faculty of Shalian Studium as both a token of our friendship and expression of our boundless admiration. And it turned everything off. Fuck! I hate that. I hate that. What did I just say about wrong answers first? I believe I said that like a video ago. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by its contents. Well done, Rhett. I think you may have found our prize. And there's the original version.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
These things.
Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Huh?
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Voidsent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Yes. But that explains one thing. The other thing that's unexplained, though, is...
House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own.
What about
I'm not surprised
that?
The Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
I'm like, what part of the
Task.
fake
Last, we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
was the restricted archive? Are we gonna find out something fucked up about it, or is it just that the idea that it's really easy to replicate? It's a problem.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves?
Yeah, me too.
Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it?
As much as I would love to start crafting Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hannish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Demir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Messages will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge more forbidden literature, I'll be here. Patron mode disabled, security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, need Hanakan. Say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the great work. She's right there! SHTOLA tells me you are pursuing the most fascinating study and that you want me to be a part of it. Oof. I have no doubt that you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? Why is this is the mark of House Demir. I never knew such a work existed. You should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives after all. It was? That means every word within is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research. You put it right into my unsuspecting hand. I can hardly wait to read it! That's a scientist. To think Demir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago, how many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Demir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Shallian trembling in the samples. No alchemist of the great work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed Samarkand once we've built it? Why, go to the void, of course! There's a secret void gate. It's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today's a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of the man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly once we finish gathering the components I require. Components? Shallian's markets provided the raw aquamarine and the pure water crystals. I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you'd need go no further than the font of Maya. The aesthetics of old once favored the place for their meditations. The water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of aether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vritra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount too much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? Meet back here anon. Yeah, here you go, SHTOLA. Just gonna put this in your neck and you're gonna stick your hand through my chest. Thank you, Rhett. Look who I came across. Estinian seemed in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lands. Now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. We will have need of Matsu's boat again. Not this time. Once SHTOLA informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready to Akiali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? Cool.
ruins alone were impressive enough. But I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
3 items with an etheric balance.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
All right.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do.
A dropsy! It's her first familiar, the one she made when she was a little baby.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
A little dropsy baby.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, water, froth and foam!
They knew what they were doing. With that cutesy little voice. She's gonna.
Your arms. I fear she's been.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Vajahan's fucking face, dude.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve as well.
I'm so glad that just happened.
This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Yeah. Froth and foam.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
Nope.
Let us begin, shall we?
Terrible. Did it on purpose.
Nixies, into the void.
Okay. It was that easy. Need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and watch for any intruders. Every time I come here, it reminds me of the dark puddle above the Crystal Tower. I struggle to picture Y'shtola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully forward. This has saved me. I will never see Y'shtola the same way again. Froth and foam, indeed. Same. I can already see it. I already see that motherfuckers are going to be posting that clip to YouTube as its own video. I think I accidentally left the shadow models at a very low quality.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side. Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Yeah.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently.
Interesting.
We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals.
Auracite.
But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Well, it was kind of wild. Shit would just happen. Mechanics didn't make sense. Kind of needs a redesign.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
I like SHTOLA being a focus character again.
On refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
Still not sure of himself.
Back in the city then.
Seeing the Void's terrors firsthand was an experience, but I doubt fear of such creatures at the root of Vreetra's hesitation. It definitely isn't. SHTOLA ponders the next stage of your preparation to enter the void. Once Nidhana succeeds in replicating a mock Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more than endeavor. More my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There's something I must do first. You gotta talk to Vreetra. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had a good reason for not wanting to explain my next ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scales can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? The Ironworks. An exit suggestion. I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scales. Come, let us visit the operation in Raga's Reach and commission them the best and brightest. I'm glad they warped us here. Hey, you want to get their help right fucking now? They're here. Go get it. What brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually. Assuming he's available. I'll see if he's free at the moment. Damn, you look old now. Always a pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last venture. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. Said there were signs of degradation. Seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface. Much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds, in which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coding agent for strengthening trinkets and the like. And be wary of applying any compound that which upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloy with high ethereal conductivity, so as to not impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th. I'll have him pitch in with the design, just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, never had such reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is. Final result will be doubtless worth the wait. Ha. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage demands while we sneak about doing fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we can leave the rest to Cid's capable hands.
Hey, SHTOLA. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Jadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos.
Yeah, okay.
I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
Oh. Interesting.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet,
Now you listen to me, Varshan. You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Even the kids are here.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Ah, it all comes back around to brothers and sisters. To protect them well, you must take heart.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
It's gonna be very soon for us to go on a journey. What the hell? This is kind of a cool setup. You surprise me, Asinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping reach this conclusion. To us for the greater good, the worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the place was racked by some unnatural storm. What of your own answer then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage. And the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Raktaskir's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend or an ally. If there's a chance we can spare each other the pain, then I will follow you. Just the four of us? With things as they are, I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. It'll make for an interesting journey besides, traveling in a smaller party for a change. Crowds can be a bit draining, don't you think? Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient had we some manner of base camp near the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduta. Alright. Pretty close to this point. It's not very much of a walk if it's like a warp and then a warp. Especially if we're going to be spending all our time in Thavnir. AFKing for raids anyway. And so, we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. There you go. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in search for Azdaja. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take. What our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I'm grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidhana, if your preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now's the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Rhett. But my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed into another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. That's the goods. And then a cutscene. Meanwhile, back in town.
To be swallowed, bereft of saviors.
So that's very clearly the shadow. Let paths unwalked, adventurers spur, pulses quicken, spirits stir. Ah, damn it! I guess that's all for now. So that's very clearly the void scent that Xenos made a pact with. I don't think it's Xenos. I think that's just the void scent, because the Reapers, like, Reaper as a class isn't you are just yourself and also your void scent form. You make a pact with a void scent. So I think that's someone of the 13th. Who exactly is that? I guess we'll get the identity and name of later. But I'm intrigued for now. And well, I guess at this point we'll just have to wait to be continued.